Hi everybody, NC Prepper again with you. Today I wanted to talk about a solar generator that I've recently put together. It's a simple project that I've been working with and wanted to kind of share it with you. I'm kind of proud of it. It's something that I've used a little bit. I haven't, as I said, I've not completely finalized on the final design here. But it's, you can see I've got a pretty large battery in there, and I added a cigarette lighter plug. I do have a battery tester on there. It's just a container that I picked up at Walmart, actually. Sorry, I'm using the camera by hand today, and instead of using the tripod like I normally do. On the back side, I'm not sure what this connector is called. But it's just something that I kind of settled on. My solar charge controller came with the same kind of connectors, so I figured I would just keep it all all the same and just go with something like that. You can see some of the other various things that I use. I'll talk about those in a minute. But basically, I liked it so that where I could take the top off, I could get to it and service it pretty quickly. I could change the battery out if I wanted to. Kind of looks like a rat's nest in there. It looks worse on camera than it actually does in person, but you know, it's still a work in progress. The container though keeps everything kind of neat and tidy. What I've done is basically, I mean, you can, if you've done any kind of research with solar charger, having it with 12 volts, I can use one of these to give me USB. So if I'm off, my main purpose of building this is, and I guess it's just like anybody else, when I go camping, sometimes I may want to stay for the weekend and I may not have access to electricity. Some of the campsites that are like we have Umstead National Park here, it's primitive camping. Or I live in North Carolina, so there's also Uwharrie National Park. No electricity there either. It's primitive camping, and it sounds like it'd be a luxury. My main purpose of building this actually was I use a CPAP machine to sleep. So I do want to go camping and I love to be outdoors, but I do need my machine to sleep with. So I was trying to come up with a compromise of some way I could run my machine and then still be able to use it for electricity during the day, like to charge my cell phone in my camcorder. So as I said, I've got USB to plug in. This is just one of the simple 1 amp. I don't know if you're not going to be able to read that, but one of the 1 amp. I need to upgrade that and get one of the 2.1 or 3 amp chargers. So if I do take my iPad to edit some videos on, I could do that too. Or I've got a simple, really old but simple, AC inverter. This one is a 75 watt. The nice thing about my CPAP machine is that it runs on 12 volts and it's only 60 watts, 65 watts, something like that. So I actually could get an appropriate 12 volt cord with the right plug on the end, and I would be able to plug this directly into my inverter without having to use, I'd be able to charge it and plug it into my generator without having to use the inverter. If you're kind of new to these, there's a pretty big power loss in the inverter itself. They're typically only 85% or so efficient. You're going to get a lot of heat, a lot of electricity. A lot of the efficiency is lost through heat when it converts the 12 volts into the 120 volts, the way that they have to do all the stuff inside there. So the moral of all that is, the more you can get to run on 12 volts, the more efficient everything's going to be, because it's a one-to-one connection. I may have shown this already, but I'll show it to you again. Is the way I can keep this charge when I am completely like doing primitive camping is I just use a simple solar charge controller, and I have a 20 watt solar panel. My hope is that I won't run this battery all the way down overnight using my CPAP machine. and I will be able to, but using the charge controller, I'll be able to leave the solar panel hooked up. So first thing in the morning, as long as I can get the panel aimed right first thing in the morning and just move it throughout the day, I should be able to keep this battery topped off. One of the things I do have at home to keep it charged is something that I picked up from Harbor Freight. It's one of these battery maintainers. It uses this, it's got a coiled cord to keep it kind of neat. Originally it comes with a big set of alligator clips, but as you can tell, I put on the same connector to make it match that. One of the upgrades I'm going to do in the future also, I've got the meter in, I've just got to get it, make a hole in the case and or figure out where to put it, and then I'll be able to actually track the amperage that I'm pulling from the battery through whatever device I plug in pretty much immediately, and know whether I need to figure out a way to keep it charged or if it should last. You may have been wondering, this battery is a 26 amp hour 12 volt battery, so it's big and heavy, but it should last all night. It should run my CPAP machine running all night, and if worst comes to worst, I typically won't be too far away from my vehicle. I can just always take this whole device, take it back to my Jeep, and plug it in, charge it that way. So that's about it. Just let me know what you think. If you've got any suggestions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And I am still looking for more subscribers, and subscribing is a good way to know when I come out with new videos. So this is NC Prepper, trying to help you be better prepared. I'll come back with a video as soon as I can. Bye.